Okay friends, well today we're going to make the ultimate comparison with the DJI Spark with every other popular quadcopter on the market. This is actually going to be the easiest video I ever made. The reason being is that you can't compare the Spark to any other quadcopter on the market. I'm seeing these videos showing up on YouTube. Oh, DJI Spark compared to Mavic Pro, DJI Spark compared to Inspire, DJI Spark compared to Phantom this, Phantom that. Completely ridiculous. The Spark is different. The Spark is not in the same class. The Spark is new. Even DJI marketing says they've built the Spark to appeal to a new segment of consumers. Now sure, some of us old hat RCers are going to want one. A lot of people might have a bigger drone and they want to carry the small one around, but in general the Spark is not comparable to any of the other DJI quadcopters. Let me just mention a few reasons that it may not be, and also some other matters that might affect your decision. Let's talk about the Spark a little bit first. Okay, the Spark is really two drones. On one hand, it's the $499 special, where it's controlled with your mobile phone. It has a limited range. It has a number of smart tricks it can do. There's nothing on the market really that's down in that price level, except for perhaps the Phantom 3 Standard, which has a vast number of options in terms of the camera and other things that the Spark just doesn't have. It has a 2-axis gimbal, and in terms of the camera, there is one setting for video, a single setting, which is 1080/30. There's one setting for photos, it's JPEG. There's none of those fancy various art and other D-Log and lots of other settings that are available on the other machines. This is designed to be an easy to use camera, and that's why it has as few options as possible. In terms of the obstacle avoidance and recognition, it uses infrared on the front here under this panel, and that has a very short range. It's a smaller drone, it doesn't need as long of a range, but it surely is not like the Mavic or the Phantom Pro or the Phantom 4, where it can recognize things quite far away and start to warn you about obstacle avoidance at fairly long distances. Now the bottom camera is a little bit different. It does have a nice system on the bottom where it uses both a camera and some fancy technology and infrared, so it can see quite far down. Now the flight time on this is half of what the flight time on the other models. We tested it and we get 13 minutes to a 15% battery level, so that puts it at approximately half the flight time. Now the other Spark is the Spark in the Fly More package, where you have an RC controller, and that's going to give you a whole bunch more options. It's still not comparable to other drones for a number of reasons, mostly the camera. Again, these are camera drones. So if we call them camera drones, the first and biggest measurement is the quality of the camera, the options of the camera, and what you're able to do with the video and pictures you take out of it. There's nothing in the system in here, in the photographic system, that would scream out to you prosumer or pro. Not to say that a pro couldn't use it. Some pros use the iPhone. The iPhone actually is probably a lot fancier of a camera than is in the Spark. However, with the remote control, you will have a lot longer range, you'll have a lot more fun, you'll have the sport mode, you'll have all kinds of things like that. But again, not comparable in any way, shape, or form to these other drones. The only thing that's comparable is it has 4 propellers, it's made by DJI, and it has a camera on it. And when I see these videos getting 1 million views, DJI Spark versus Inspire, DJI Spark versus the Mavic Pro, DJI Spark versus Phantom 4 Pro, DJI Spark versus everything. It's sort of ridiculous. You're probably wasting a lot of your time watching those videos. The best thing to do, in my opinion, is to look at the specifications. DJI publishes the specifications on their page and in the owner's manual. So look at the specifications for the Spark. See if they meet your needs. If they meet your needs and you're just a casual around the house, around the backyard, around the small park drone user, you want to travel with it, you want to use it just with the mobile app for $4.99, it's hard to beat. But realistically, if photography and video is your most important aspect, for $4.99 or for less, for $3.99 or sometimes for $3.49 refurb, you can buy a Phantom 3 standard refurb, or sometimes new, for about $400, and you're going to get a lot better video out of that Phantom 3 standard, including up to 2.7K, numerous options, raw in terms of photographic quality, probably a longer range, standard with the remote control, just numerous options that you're going to have in the app that you don't have in the Spark. Now the Spark does have a lot of what we might call gimmicks, and I think that's done on purpose. If we're talking about introducing drones to a new class of consumer, well, that's what they're going to go for. The fact that you can launch it from your palm without a mobile device, flying inside, in most cases, that's really just to show your friends what it can do. Very few of us are going to be really using it for inside filming, but if you were going to do that in a tight space, on one hand, it probably has the best positioning of any of them. On the other hand, the quality you're going to get out of the camera isn't going to be up to snuff as compared to, for instance, the Mavic Pro. Coming from a family of educators and manufacturers, I'm actually insulted by some of these videos comparing the Spark to other craft, because it's simply not something that you can compare against other consumer camera drones on the market today. Whether it's price, I mean $4.99, it doesn't compare to $14.99, or in this case that's an advanced, so that's $13.49, or in this case to $9.99. It's literally half the price or less. If you get the RC controller, again at the $6.99, you're going to get a package that's a little closer to being like, quote, a real drone, capable, learning the sticks, and there's a lot more functions built in. Still, we can't compare it to anything. One of the comments made to me by a DJI employee was that the Spark, in some manner, they're looking to replace the Phantom 3 standard. That doesn't mean they'll never sell the Phantom 3 standard again. I'm sure if everybody wants them, they'll somehow make them or provide them. But they're looking for that entry-level consumer, that consumer that wants to spend $500, see what drones are all about. So to summarize, please try not to waste your time watching videos about the comparison of an Inspire and a DJI Spark, or a Mavic Pro and a DJI Spark, or any other higher quality prosumer quadcopter and a DJI Spark. Instead, look at each of the machines, look at the specifications, look at the manuals, look at the videos as what they are. And I should mention also, I have a number of these same questions on our YouTube channel comments. People are like, does it do this like the Mavic? Does it do this like the Mavic? The answer is generally no, it's not a Mavic. So my go-to drone currently is the Mavic Pro. That's the one. It's easy to keep in a bag, it's easy to haul around, and I can get the results. I'm not a professional, but I can get the results that look good, that people will look at it and appreciate it, and appreciate the landscapes or the different pictures that I take. So that suits me just fine. As far as the Spark, I have to admit, I ordered a red one for myself. I ordered it with the RC controller, so you know, I'll use that, but I am not going to compare it with the Mavic Pro. If there's any video I want to take that I want to put up and be proud of, I'll be bringing the Mavic Pro along. So anyway, I hope you learned just a little bit from this, and I hope I didn't make it too long, but the idea here is, please don't waste your time. Don't watch those videos about comparing the DJI Spark to anything. It's a new class of quadcopter, and you should look at it for what it is. As a final example of what I'm trying to express in this video, let's talk about these two screwdrivers. Which one is better? Can I write an article comparing this screwdriver to this screwdriver? How about hammers? Which is the best hammer? Can I compare this hammer to this hammer? This little one is better at driving very small nails, and my wife sure likes it. How about tape measures? Well, surely this big 25-foot Stanley has to be much better than this little Lufkin Executive 6-foot, except that this one has some nice tricks. One of the things it has is it works on pipe or on any type of tubing. You can wrap it around something and it will tell you the diameter of it. So that's a pretty fancy little tape measure. And the same thing would go with any type of measuring equipment. Is this the better rule than this? It has all kinds of decimal translations on the back. This is a scale ruler. Which is better? Would I make a video comparing this and this? Of course not. Same thing goes with the Spark. There's no reason to make a video comparing it with any other current quadcopter on the market. It stands on its own merits. Read the specs, read the manual, watch the videos, learn, and make an informed decision. Thanks for watching.